Yeah, thanks for joining us here in Worthing. Omid, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
So, your tour, Schmuck for a Night, what can we expect?
Schmuck for a Night is a show that takes in current affairs, and sometimes even I don't think people will get the jokes until they get home and put the telly on. It's going to be like that, and there's so much to talk about. There's Brexit, Trump, immigration, there's stuff that's in the news every day that I think needs to be commented on. And I suppose this is a show that's using comedy to make sense of things. Comedy is a tool here, it's not the end. Comedy is a means to an end. So I think I found that people are very hungry to make sense of what the hell is going on. Yeah. So hopefully the funnier the show is, the more we're making sense of things.
Yeah, because there's been a complete madness, isn't it, the last few months with, like you say, Brexit and Trump suddenly falling upon us like this.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea of comedy is to help people understand it and kind of see light of the situation.
I think so. Even something like Trump there are so many people who are so shocked by it. I'm not shocked by it because I knew when Bear won Celebrity Big Brother, I knew that there was a tactic there used to be as much of an idiot and as much of an objectionable human being as you possibly can, and that was gaining him popularity. I just remember thinking then, Trump is running and he's doing objectionable things. Is this the same kind of tactic? And he comes from reality TV. Yeah. So there's something in this that we are now living in a world of reality TV stars becoming presidents and over just ruling our world. And it's a phenomenon. I think that everybody's kind of disturbed by it, and everybody wants to make sense of it. So we're better than to come to a comedy show.
Exactly. So I mean, you've had an excellent career. You've been in films, stage productions, and you recently produced your own show at the Edinburgh Fringe, I believe. Yeah,
that was an amazing show. That was it was called Iraq Out Loud, which was basically reading the Chilcot report. The Chilcot report was something that people have been clamouring for about 7 years. It cost millions to put together. It was 2.6 million words, 12 volumes. And the government just said, we've read it for you and here's an executive summary, and that's it. Then it was out the news the very next day. I don't think it was in the news for a day, maybe the next day as well a bit, and then it was gone. And we just thought, well, hang on a minute. Do we trust these people, the same people who went to war, are now saying this is our report when we read it for you? Are we that dumb as a population? So we thought, why don't we put it on as a show? Let's read it, film it. And the British Library said, look, we'll film it for our kind of oral histories program. And amazing things came out of it. Like, we went to war on paragraph 666 for a start. That's an irony. Somewhere in volume 7, just in a small footnote, Condoleezza Rice says, the Iraqis should not receive the oil, it should go to American oil companies. That's a fact. Also, all the advice about an exit strategy in Iraq was totally ignored, we were warned there'd be things like crazy terrorist groups would be formed, like Islamic State, the group calling themselves Islamic State. So there are a lot of things we found in the Chilcot report that was not reported on. So that's why it's now going around the country, and it's going to stay in many towns for about a week as a kind of arts installation. So we're very proud of that. I think it's a people-powered public service which we just wanted to put out there and see what people think of it.
Excellent. And of course, you've been doing stand-up for many, many years. Is that where you feel most at home now, or is it doing this variety of things?
I think that, in one sense, variety is a spice of life. I think it's like with everything, we have a twofold moral purpose in this life. We're here to kind of develop ourselves, but at the same time, try and help an ever-advancing civilization, if I can say it in a very poetic way, to try and help the world. Because the two things are interlinked. The more you can help yourself, the more you're helping the world, and the more the world is helped, the more you can develop. So I think that that's another thing that a lot of artists try and do different things to help develop themselves. I know through acting, film acting and stand-up comedy, seem very, very different, but they're interlinked. So I'll find that a joke, if I'm being too hard with the punchline, sometimes in film acting they say, look, throw it away. Yeah. And you just say the line. And sometimes if you just throw away the punchline, it gets a bigger laugh. Sometimes you can go very hard on the nose with your performance of something. So they are interlinked. So I do try and mix it up a bit just for the benefit of each, of myself in each discipline.
Oh. And your tour, Schmuck for a Night, goes on till May 2017 at the moment.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for you next year?
Well, first of all, I've got to say, when everyone says, why are you doing such a big tour? And I didn't realise the shorter tours I did before, like whenever my manager said, I got your 12-date tour, I go, is that it? He goes, yeah, keep it short, make them want more. I didn't realise it was only 12 theatres that invited me. So I've been fed a lie that all these tours I've done before, because nobody wanted me. And I said, why am I doing such a big tour? Because, well, we've got all these invites. I said, so I was never invited before? Because no one wanted you. So I goes, take the work while you get it. So I'm very pleased that I've been invited by over 110 theatres and more now coming in. And I'll probably do them because it's very enjoyable when you do something which is your own thing. It's a very enjoyable thing to do. And what's on the horizon? Probably more, because it's a show that's ever developing. It's a show that I can't just show up and just do it. I have to think about it. Like we're even having conferences right now with all my team. What's in the news now? What are we talking about? So it's ever evolving, organic piece. But there's lots of very nice offers on the table for me to do things which I can't talk about yet. No exclusives for Worthing. But it's all very good. I mean, for a fat bald bloke like me, I'm doing all right.
Amazing. Okay, so do you think your comedy's changed throughout the years since when you first started? How would you say?
Yeah, you could. Do you know what? I think probably more than anyone else. And I'd say this without any information on anyone else, but I'm putting myself forward as the only person there who's going to say this, is that I can't even watch the last tour I did.
Wow. I
can't even watch it. We'd filmed it at the Hammersmith Apollo in March of 2015. I've only had now time to sit down and look at it. We thought we might release it as a download or something. I couldn't watch more than 10 minutes. I thought, this is terrible. This is not going to work as a DVD or as a download. I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to make a documentary or something and you can use bits of it. But I think that I would like to put that down to being more evolved as a person, as a stand-up, that I can't watch myself from 18 months ago. Or maybe what I was doing was just shit. That's something I might just have to... It was just shit, and maybe the standard of stand-up comedy in this country is so low that show sold out everywhere. Oh. But I can't watch it now. And I think that's a good sign. It's a good sign that you're always moving forward. I think certainly the material in this show is stronger. And as you get older, you realise it really is all about your material. It's about what you want to say, how you want to say it. And you might get the laugh, but you think, all right, it's a laugh, but is there any content behind it? So yeah, I'm always in flux.
On a personal note, I saw you in Worthing 2 years ago. I think you were last here, and me and mate absolutely loved it. Brilliant.
Did you like it, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, maybe you're just a very unevolved person.
Maybe. Very primitive, so, you know. In fairness, I did put a suggestion in the hat asking you to do a Godzilla impression, and you did it, which I
did it. I'm a showbiz whore. I'm happy. If you want something, I'll do it for you. Oh, I promised people I wouldn't dance, and now, this show now... about 15 minutes of dancing. So, you know,
wow.
I'm your performing monkey. I'll do anything you want.
Extended edition. We're going to put you on the spot now.
Yes.
What's the shortest joke you've ever told?
The shortest joke I ever told? I mean, I'm not up there with people like Jimmy Carr and Tim Vine. I think Tim Vine is one of the... Velcro, what a rip-off. That's one, that's a 5-word. Or even, I think Jimmy Carr has one, dwarf shortage. 2 very funny jokes, very short. I'm not really about the brevity. I do know that I was very inspired by Rick Mayall when he did a poem once that just went in the 1980s, that just went, Thatcher! And that was it. And that got a laugh, actually, just by screaming one word.
Wow.
The shortest thing I ever did is maybe a Godzilla impression.
Oh, yeah.
I think those ones are, which is basically the same thing. But the setup was Godzilla having asked for a peppermint tea, but getting a Turkish coffee, and it's like, that takes about 5 seconds.
How long did you spend at home practicing all these different Godzilla scenarios? To be honest,
I think what happens is I do them in the mirror, and I won't do it until I'm on the floor laughing. It's a very strange process. It's a sign of madness to talk to yourself, but I do most of this stuff in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I used to joke about it that I'd do it naked, one black sock. And that kind of gives you a head start with the comedy because you already look funny. So now I'm fully clothed, and if I can make myself laugh, sometimes the joke itself is not funny, it's the way you deliver it as well. So until I make myself laugh, I won't really present it. That's a little insight into how I do my stuff.